This week, I'm sharing what real-life planning looks like on a working ranch. Mud, weather swings, breeding decisions, and all. We're talking about seasonal rhythms, why rigid schedules don't work for us, and how planning around your actual life can bring more steadiness and less frustration. Hey friends, welcome to the Get Goat-Wise podcast. Are you longing to raise goats and other animals for food but don't know where to start? Do you want to be more self-sufficient and less dependent on the grocery store? Do you wish you had a mentor to walk you through raising livestock? Hi, I'm Millie, animal scientist, cattle girl turned goat rancher, co-owner of Dry Creek Livestock, and simple living enthusiast. For 15 years, I've been on a mission to raise all of our own meat, eggs, and dairy. Here, we'll talk about raising goats and other homestead livestock, how to create sustainable animal management systems that actually work, and a bit of off-grid life with kids and livestock. If you're ready to take control of your food supply, raise livestock with confidence, and provide your family with the most nourishing meat, eggs, and dairy available, you're in the right place. Kick off your muck boots, pour a cup of coffee, and let's talk livestock. Before we jump into today's topic, I want to ask a quick favor. If this podcast has helped you in any way, whether it's giving you confidence, clarity, or a strategy to try, I'd really appreciate you leaving a review. Just head to Get Goat-Wise on Apple Podcasts, scroll down to ratings and reviews, click the purple words that say write a review, give me some stars and tell me what you think. It truly helps other goat owners find the show. And as a thank you, I've got a free kidding due date chart waiting for you. Just go to getgoatwise.com/kidding-chart. It's on the honor system. You leave a review, go grab your chart, and know you're helping someone else along the way. Here's what's been happening on the ranch this week. We had snow, then a warm up, and now we're dealing with mud. A lot of mud. This isn't normal for our area. Typically, we'd be at or below 0 Fahrenheit every night, and most days wouldn't get above freezing. So while the warm temperatures are nice, the mud is wearing on us. One thing we're especially grateful for right now is the new tractor. It's letting us leave the skid steer parked instead of loading up the tracks with mud. That saves wear and tear, and honestly, it saves a lot of cleanup frustration too. We're all finally feeling better health-wise, but we still haven't started feeding outside the night trap. With conditions this muddy, we just tear everything up. So for now, we wait. We did get the does sorted into breeding groups, and we put the bucks in on Friday, January 2nd. That puts the start of kidding right around June 1st. Since this is the first episode of 2026, I thought it would be a good time to walk you through our yearly rhythm with livestock and how we think about the year ahead. Our work is very seasonal. It always has been. And planning around that seasonality is one of the biggest things that keeps us steady instead of constantly behind. So here's the big picture of our year, season by season. January through March is our quieter season. Once the does are sorted into breeding groups and the bucks are in, this is a time to rest, recover, and focus on indoor work, taxes, livestock records, planning, and research. In March, the meat goat kids that have been growing since last June go to market just in time for Easter. April is when things start ramping up. The kids get their 4-H hogs, goats, and lambs. The dairy does kid, and we get back to building fence. Stacy starts his contract fence work. He'll be focused on that through August or September, though he still helps out here whenever we get overwhelmed. He's really great about working his schedule around what's going on here on the ranch. May is preparation mode. We get ready for kidding, take the kids to show camp, irrigation water comes in. We usually like our cows to calve in May, but this year I suspect the neighbor's bull may have had other plans, so we'll see how that shakes out. June is kidding. That's pretty much my whole world in June. The beef also go in for processing during that time. July through September is daily electric fence moves, selecting replacement butt kids, banding everything else, helping the kids with county fair and state fair, and trying to soak up summer while we can. October through December, we wean goats, start feeding hay, make breeding plans for the next year, and keep working on fence jobs until the weather shuts us down. And then we do it all over again. So what's different in 2026? Let's talk specifics for this year. This is the first year we don't have a boar buck in the breeding rotation. That wasn't entirely intentional. I'd been shopping for one, but I wasn't finding what I wanted, and it was getting too late to bring a buck up from the south. They just don't adjust well unless they come in before it starts cooling off. So both the Spanish and Bordeaux are with Spanish bucks this year. We've done this cross before with first-time boar show does, and some of those offspring are still in our herd. Spanish genetics really improve maternal traits in Bordeaux. I plan to bring a boar buck back next year, but I'm genuinely excited to see how this group turns out. We're also getting serious about testing different seeding options that might work in our climate. There isn't much soil building planting done here where we live, so we're doing research, ordering seed, and starting. Even if it doesn't work the way we hope, that's still valuable information, and I'm excited about the process. Winter work. Quiet but important. This winter, I'm also working on fence resources for you and getting a blog going on the Dry Creek Pastures website so I can share photos and visuals that just don't work on a podcast. I'm reading a lot, researching a lot, and wrapping up old projects. I genuinely enjoy my 4 a.m. mornings this time of year. The quiet space is hard to come by in the summer. The big fence project. We also have a major fence project underway. This will be a goat-safe perimeter fence enclosing over 200 acres. Once it's done, it will allow us to graze earlier in the spring and later into the fall, contain the livestock guardian dogs, offer some predator protection, and significantly reduce our hay bill. It's been a phased project, and I honestly don't know how far we'll get this year. We'll work on it as much as we can and see where we land. Business adjustments. Meat sales are shifting slightly this year. Goat meat will be the primary focus, though we'll still offer bulk beef and pork through pre-sales. I'm also cutting way back on farmers markets. I want more margin this summer to be with the kids. I only have a few years left before they're all adults, and I don't want to miss that. The planning lesson, and this is the whole point of this episode. I went into 2026 planning with every intention of laying out detailed, time-specific plans. But every time I tried to assign exact timelines, it just didn't feel right. Our life is seasonal. Weather changes things. Animals change things. Kids change things. The tighter I schedule, the more frustrated I get when real life interrupts the plan. So, I set that approach aside. Instead of rigid quarters and productivity frameworks, I'm planning by season. Big picture goals for the year, seasonal themes on the calendar, and flexibility built in. Right now, I'm planning January through March with rough projects, and I'm spacing them out in about double the time I think they should actually take, because I tend to believe I can accomplish a ridiculous amount of work in a short window. If I finish early, great. Those small adjustments already make this year feel steadier and more peaceful, and that means we'll be better equipped to handle chaos when it shows up, because it always does. I hope this episode gives you some insight into how we plan and produce here. But more than that, I hope it gives you permission to plan in a way that actually fits your life. If you want to talk planning or have questions, head on over to getgoatwise.com/community and start a conversation. See you next week. Hey there. Thanks for listening today. I'm so glad you're here. If this episode helped you or encouraged you in some way, share the link with your homesteading friends. And if you really want to help me out, click on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and a review. You can connect with me on Instagram or email, linked in the show notes, and meet me back here soon for more Get Goat Wise.